Good evening, and thank you for joining us for your weekend report. I'm Jordan Markoff. Early voting is underway in Marion County's first special election in more than 15 years. TV 20's Ethan Badowski tells us how this tense election is shaping up.
Early voting is underway in Marion County with 5 candidates vying to fill the vacant seat in Florida State House District 24. The seat opened up when Joe Harding resigned following an indictment on charges of money laundering, wire fraud, and making false statements in regards to PPP loans. I asked one couple voting in the election whether they think the proper use of PPP loans is a high priority for them in this election.
Not at all.
Initially, I was thinking about it, but as we went to the forums, it became less and less relevant. It was made an issue by somebody that thought they could make it an issue. But when I dug into it and started to look a little bit further and asked the candidates, each one of the candidates, about their PPP loans, it became a non-issue for me.
The 5 Republican candidates in the race are Ryan Chamberlain, Justin Albright, Jose Juarez, Stephen Piles, and Charlie Stone. I asked the Schmitz what main issues they are focused on in the election.
I would like to see this candidate, whoever goes to Tallahassee, fix some of the issues or at least put in place enablers that will allow us to take and fix Marion County school performance.
Marion County Supervisor of Elections says he expects a 15 to 20% turnout for the election.
Today was our first day of early voting. It has started off, as you can see, fairly slowly across the county, but hopefully as more people realize that early voting is going on, we'll start to get a little better turnout as we move into the rest of the week.
Early voting is open until March 4th, and Election Day is set for March 7th. In Marion County, Ethan Badowski, TV 20 News.